All right, there is a bit of a trend going on right now, and there's always a million trends with fitness, so obviously that's nothing new. But this trend is, well, let's just call this amalgamation of trends, is how can I improve my fucking workout? Which is obvious, I guess that's not really a trend, that's what we're always thinking. And, you know, it's, there's a million different things. It's like, should you... I was about to say some kind of whatever, but it's like, okay, pre-workout carbs. That's what I'm really saying. Pre-workout carbs and post-workout carbs are being very highly kind of hyped up, especially with younger guys where they're getting their feet in the ground. Just as a note, the longer you work out, the less picky you will become about small details, because you see the forest for the forest. You don't miss it because you're staring at a tree. But the logic is sound. So it's okay, dude, you should be eating pre-workout carbs, and you should be eating post-workout carbs to replenish your glycogen and refuel. Right? I mean, it would make sense if you're about to take your car to the racetrack, get a full tank before, and then fill that shit up right after. Obviously there's no correlation between a fucking motor engine and a person, but the logic is sound. So it's essentially guys making a little TikTok post of like, that 50 grams of Sour Patch Kids that you ate right before the gym isn't doing anything for you because you haven't digested it yet, right? And things like that. So if I could break it down, I'd say if you want to maximize your energy before a workout, definitely eat some carbs beforehand, but not immediately beforehand. I'm talking like hour and a half. Honestly, probably hour and a half is probably the lower limit, and I'd say 2 hours is probably good. For me, I always notice if I eat, and it's different bulking to cutting. So right now, if I eat, just something with 50 grams of carbs-ish minimum, 2 hours before my workout, maybe an hour and a half or so, well, I'm going to feel pretty good. But when I'm dieting, you're always going to be kind of flat anyway, so it almost doesn't really correlate as much. But if you're growing, if you're trying to gain size, then, dude, I mean, shit. For one, I'm probably going to start working out a little later into the day, more like maybe like 1-ish, noon-ish or so I can have like 2 or 3 solid meals beforehand. So if you're trying to grow, you're eating in at least a minor surplus, or you're just around maintenance, then I've noticed probably some of my craziest workouts came from maybe 150 to 200 gram of carbs a meal, 40, 50 grams of protein or so. Eating a bunch of protein before you work out doesn't do anything for you particularly. I'm not carbed up on protein, or if you know this reference, carbed up on amino acids. That's only for some of you. But you need your protein throughout the day. But the main thing is that 200 grams of carbs. So let's say that, what's today? Chest. So let's say, maybe my next chest day, I say, you know what, I'm carbing up like a fucking bodybuilding show, and I want to be full as a freaking house for my next chest pump. For one, because, maybe a refeed or something, but for two, just because it would look fucking cool, and I would feel like a beast because I'm full of carbs. Then, I'd eat a pretty substantial amount the night before, and then, honestly, even just from carbing up the night before, from being carved up and having my glycogen levels full, by the time I wake up, I'll be full of carbs, but I'll have an empty stomach, so I'll look pretty aesthetic just from having a smaller waist. But a big meal, maybe, it depends on what it is, If you're just straight oatmeal dude, then that would be what, like 8 packs of instant oats with some frozen fruit, some brown sugar. That's pretty substantial. Or maybe do a big bowl of white rice or something. I guess that'd be like 4 packs of like instant ramen. I'm a little bit turned off to instant ramen now, even going forward into my next bulk, because not even because of the sodium. The sodium I do not mind, Because if you drink enough fluids, then, you know, having a high sodium meal, honestly, pre-workout, it's probably just going to make you feel better in the gym. You know, the whole way your muscles even work is from this electrolyte imbalance of like potassium and sodium and you know, whatever. But high in fats, 52 grams of carbs in one pack of like a Maruchan chicken ramen, which 52 grams of carbs, it goes down like nothing, but 14 grams of fat per. That's a lot, you know? So that's what's turning me off there. But no matter what, a good chunk of carbs, maybe a gram per however many pounds you weigh, lean. So if you're a 300-pound dude and you assume that if you were peeled, you might be 180, well then that 180, something like that. And then maybe 2 hours of, let's just say, leisure, sitting down, maybe take a freaking pre-workout nap, depending on what your schedule may be, let everything digest, get where it's going, well then you're ready to roll. But I'd say more importantly to that, or at least equally as important to be, well, I say administered, that's not the right word for this, but to be taken in tandem with those carbs and potentially some higher salts and, you know, electrolytes or whatever, it's gonna be fucking water. A crap ton of water. I got just went on a walk with the dogs this morning. Brought about a half, probably about 2/3 gallon worth of water. 0 sugar sweetened, which just makes it easier for me to drink a ton of it. I just like it. You know, I know that makes me sound like a 5-year-old, but I'd rather drink fruit flavored water than just straight up. Not for every meal, but for the most part. The whole thing was gone within like this hour period of right when I wake up. So, you know, I can tell hydrated or hydration wise, I'm right here. I've got as much fluids as my body can demand. So what that's gonna do, in tandem with crap, what did I have? Yeah. Not the breakfast of champions, but I had 3 Yasso bars. Now the macros on a Yasso bar are pretty damn good. 1 gram of 1 gram of fats with 18 grams of carbs on like a salted caramel one. That's pretty freaking substantial, you know? So yeah, it's not an oatmeal, but about 50-ish grams of carbs worth and only 3 grams of fats. That's about what I'm looking for. So since I'm slightly carbed up, only very slightly, 50 is not really pushing the scale for me at my body weight, and I'm super hydrated, well then when I come in here for chest today, guess what? I'm gonna feel pretty good. I'm not gonna have like a back of the head exertion headache, and my joints aren't gonna feel super tender, and I'm not just gonna, honestly, just feel bad, you know? Anybody that's dehydrated, their food intake is strange, and by strange I just mean like not conducive with any goals in particular, well then they're not going to have any fun in the gym. Because if you only eat, I don't know, let's say some kind of processed food, like maybe you had a couple bags of or a pretty chunky or pretty substantial handfuls of like Doritos or just random snacks like in your house, so a pretty substantial amount of whatever with sodium, with whatever weird electrolytes and like processed fats, and you're not drinking enough water to dilute some of that stuff, it's just gonna make you, you know? It's like if two, now obviously this is kind of just bro science-y explanation, but if one dude is only eating like total junk all the time, he's not doing any cardio, he's not training well, his fluid intake is not awesome, versus the guy who might be eating a bit cleaner, still some junk in there, but more clean, and he's drinking a crap ton of water, and that guy, he's just gonna have a better time. He's gonna grow better, he's gonna enjoy his workouts more, he's probably not gonna stink. I mean, I get pretty damn sweaty, especially in the gym now that it's so hot, but I'm not stinking. And I think that has to do with not eating cans of Pringles by the tube. I've definitely done that before. Not so much now. So to boil that all down in terms of how my diet is going to change going forward once I start trying to gain weight, is I'm really just going to be pickier about my fat intakes, you know? Because I don't mind like some treats or some like crackers or whatever, but I don't want my fats to get too high, Because I guess we'll see what happens, but I think high fat intake really kind of messes with me. I want to keep my fats at like sub 80, even when I'm in a growth phase, and see how that does, and really just leverage carbs. But since I'm fully hydrated, I'm very well rested, just freaking warm, partially just because it's so hot out. It's not even 10 o'clock and it's 80. Eesh. I guess if you're in Florida or something, you probably think I'm a wuss. But yeah, man, 80 in the sun is pretty substantial. I wouldn't mind 67. 67 in the sun would be pretty freaking cool. But no more talking. Let's go make chest happen. Here's the plan. So I'm warm. I'm very warm. I'm actually freaking already sweating just from the warm-up, just from how freaking hot it is in here. But let's start heavy. And by heavy, I mean more like heavy-ish. So 3 plates on incline Smith, doable, but not, well, I guess not undoable, if you feel me. So let me just get amped, then we can get fucking real. Let's move on. Let's do a plate loaded press. Okay. Oh, a few more. That feels really fucking good today. Okay. Oh, one more. Two. Okay. Okay. Holy shit. All right, one more, but 2 plates instead of 3. Ooh, shit. Yeah, this is up there with my favorite chest presses, if not. Oh, let's grab some cables. Let's, well, you tell me. You think I'm pumped? Trick question. All right, so 130, pretty heavy, but light enough that I can still kind of get a really good contraction. Like if I did 190, 170, for one, the weight would probably pick me up off the fucking ground, but I wouldn't really get an awesome contraction. And the whole point here is I'm thinking like inner elbow up to my opposite shoulder, something like that. And I feel my inner like upper quadrant of pec, like right here above my mid, or above my inner like collarbone. This is squeezing pretty fucking hard. So trying to keep my front delts out of it. It's mostly chest, even if you hunch a little. Okay. 2 more, at least. Two. Okay. Oh, one more, but let's do 100 instead of 130. I think 130 might be a little much. And we're getting close to done. So maybe 1, 2 more and pose down. Yeah. 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 Okay. Oh, okay. Let's see how we're looking. Mind the out of breathness. We did just finish chest. Well, let's see how we're looking. Yeah, I think, so shit, I had a fan in here too. I left it on just to circulate the air, and then the fan flips over. Obviously this thing's fucking heavy, so the inner blades rotating, hitting the floor, just fucking, I mean, one of the blades flew off, so now I gotta get, whatever. Unrelated to the quality of this pump, so let's not even fucking worry about it. But, yeah, there we go. We're cooking with gas today, that's for sure. And I don't even know what's different, but I feel way drier than my last chest day, like substantially. So let's run through a few here. Oh my gosh. All right, let's actually move a little closer. Yeah, there we go. Slightly freakier lighting. So I don't know. I mean, that was pretty much everything, right? Decently heavy pressing from that inclined Smith. Solidly heavy, but more so of a good squeezing, holding few sets on the hammer press. And then just some solid burnout reps with that hand over hand. So when I'm doing those, I'm really not feeling much front delt. I'm definitely more hunched than a regular, like, machine press or something. But what I'm really thinking is just trying to pull this section of chest up here towards this area. Like every time I'm sitting there doing those reps, I'm feeling it way up here, this whole upper sort of section. And would that not make sense? Because I mean, even just look at the lines of the fibers. They're creeping upward here. Right? So I mean, what that tells me is if I want to hit these upper fibers and fill my chest up to the point where my chain is like being displaced, it's not just hanging naturally, like it's straight up just resting on my chest. Well then, for one, I want to feel it up here, but I also want to do a movement that targets that area. So that's why sometimes I even like grabbing 230s or 240s or something, hanging my arms in front of my body and dragging the weight across like this, right? Because these upper fibers are pulling my upper arm, or I guess pulling the lower arm from my upper arm over here, getting all this activated. But let's hit one more most muscular. Oh my gosh. All right. There's probably no point putting the shirt on for cardio because it's already going to be drenched. But I mean, shit. I just don't even want to stop posing. One more. And then I'll actually get to cardio, the really important part. Oh my goodness. All right. So to conclude, does it need an explanation? We're fucking pumped. I'm feeling lean. All this cardio and calorie restriction is working. So, I mean, shit. Let's just keep on keeping on for the next 6 or so weeks. Get a little leaner, get used to a low baseline calorie intake, and then come August, come September, we'll get up there. I'm talking, I don't know what I'm talking. I want to stay lean-ish. Like this will be the first really intentionally lean bulk. So I don't know what my weight's going to end up. 260? Not unheard of. 270? I don't know. 270 might be kind of nuts. But my morning weight this morning was 239. So, 239 flat? I'm not upset with that. I'm not upset with that whatso freaking ever. So, no more talking. I'm going to go get my cardio done. All right. Forget what I said about not stinking. I was sweating hard. Yeah, and you could tell. With your eyes closed, you could tell. And I think I know exactly why. I think I know why I'm a little on the smellier side today. It's because yesterday I ate a big-ass bag of Jack Link's beef jerky that I got from the gas station. I don't mean like this is a 12-serving freaking bag. So a ton of sodium, way more than I really needed. But I should have there's this one brand that I really like. It's called I mean, it tastes fine, but it's called Tillamook, I believe, and it's just a legit jerky. So it's just flavored. What am I even thinking here? Yeah, it's just flavored. It's just regular cuts, salted, whatever, nothing else added. It's like little to no carbs, pretty much. It's like 1 gram of carb per like 10 grams of protein or something. Whereas a Jack Link's jerky is like 6 grams of carbs for every 9 or something grams of protein. And it's not even like just straight up cuts. It's like a blend. So I'm sure before it actually gets to this jerky state, it just comes out like hot dog mix. And then it gets like, you know, cooked and congealed, and like as a food, like it's fine. It's not like that's a problem. You know, I think it's still got some baseline protein qualities. But I think just eating all the weird carb and like whatever, you know, maybe just whatever's mixed into that all at once, and that was a ton, was a bit much for my stomach to handle. Like I could tell my stomach felt a little funky, but really, yeah, I think it's beginning to sweat out of me now. So I'm gonna make I mean, I've been eating clean, but I'm gonna eat even cleaner. I'm talking egg whites, canned tuna, canned chicken, lean ground beef. I might even bust out some ground turkey. Ground turkey is when you're getting really real. Or my personal recommendation of just a bulk protein, and this shit is ready to go out of the shopping cart, is you got to go to Costco, and I think it's just the Kirkland brand big ass turkey breast. It's like vacuum sealed. The thing weighs like 6 freaking pounds. It's huge. I don't know what the cost per dollar or what the grams per dollar is, so it might not be that good. That's always something to consider, because if you look at something like you know, I don't know, maybe protein powder versus egg whites versus ground beef, usually, I don't remember the exact number. Back in school, I was a lot more concerned with, okay, how can I get my buck's worth at this Kroger? Like, all right, milk is actually so-and-so cents per gram. All right, well, 2 gallons of milk, boom, that's my protein for, you know, however many meals of protein worth. So that would just make sense. Like a Wagyu A5 steak is going to be way more expensive per gram than bulk, full fat, 80% ground beef, you know, things like that. So I don't know what the cost per gram is, but that block of turkey is freaking perfect, because all you've got to do is unwrap it. You know, it's got some like just juices on the inside, so strain that into the sink, put the whole thing into a big Tupperware container just to keep it, you know, sealed. You can leave it in a Ziploc bag in your fridge, but that kind of turns into a chore to cut, because it's like you have to put it onto a plate and like stick part of it out. Just put it in a big Tupperware, and then you got 5 pounds of pretty damn lean protein at your disposal. Boom. Slice off 8 ounces, 50 grams of protein. Perfect. Cube it, mix it up with some rice, mix it up with some kind of oatmeal, mix it up with whatever the hell you want. Solid. And it's pretty much just a perfect base. Like, I would consider that big ass block of turkey to be pretty comparable to just regular egg whites, in the sense that you can put whatever sauce, whatever seasoning, whatever you want onto it, and it's still going to taste pretty good, because it's just going to end up taking on the flavor of whatever seasoning that you put onto it, right? Like, I'm not going to put well, that's not actually true. Sometimes I'll do mustard, low-fat mayo, zero sugar ketchup into ground beef with some relish, mix the whole thing together, and now I've got a deconstructed burger. Pretty damn good. You know, no bun, of course, but the basic kind of enjoyment is all there. So with eggs, I mean, dude, I'll do mustard on egg whites, I'll do barbecue sauce on egg whites, I'll do just regular salt and pepper on egg whites. This is really good if you haven't tried it. Just a crap ton of salsa on egg whites. So get a huge tub of salsa. I mean, it makes the egg whites way more enjoyable to eat. So if I've got one tip for you, if you're trying to stay on the leaner side for now, or for the next few months or so, it's to get a little more skillful at tastifying plain food, right? So if you got a big bowl of ground beef, 8 ounces in front of you, 50 grams of protein, 4 grams of fats or something, depending on how well you strained it. All right, not the most appetizing, you know, I'm still going to eat it, but I wouldn't want to eat it plain. get a zero sugar barbecue sauce. Boom. Get some zero fat cheese, like a Kirkland, I think, or I forget the brand. It's kind of funky because, you know, to get the fat out of this, I mean, you're starting from milk, and then you've got to strain off all these different parts of everything, and the whey protein and the fats and, you know, whatever. So if that messes with your stomach, don't mess with it. I don't mind it sometimes, and it melts like regular cheese, so it's pretty good. But that's a try it. Well, I guess you can't try it before you buy it, but that's a try it before you say you like it kind of situation. But the salsa, crushing up rice cakes, plain, unsalted, into your ground beef with a barbecue sauce, just to give it some more kind of body, so that as you're eating, it's just kind of filling up more space. Just get maybe not right now. I'm not super caught up with this, but there's this outbreak of some sort of parasite in a lot of produce in the States right now. It's not like it's crazy like everywhere and everyone's getting it. And I don't think it's life-threatening or anything like that, but it just totally blows your stomach up like nuts, from what I've heard. So maybe be a little careful, you know, look up like, oh, I guess you probably shouldn't buy pineapples right now, or something like that. But just by doing that and making the protein the base of the meal and everything else kind of surrounding it, well, it gets pretty damn easy to stick to your macros. I'm looking, I've got it as like a little widget on my dash. It's showing me my protein intake, my carb intake, and my fat intake for the day. Save that for later. I got some stuff in the works. This is for like months in the future. But what I want to see is that protein bar fill up before my fats and carbs. So what that tells me is I'm on track for my protein first. So my first couple meals are going to be much more protein heavy. And then towards, you know, later in the day, towards the nighttime, I can have a pretty carb heavy meal with a little bit of extra fats and go to sleep with a full stomach. So some people are going to say don't eat anything 3 hours before bed because it improves your REM or, you know, whatever. Personally, I'm not so particular about that. And for me, if my goal is dieting adhesion, right, actually sticking to my calorie goals, then it helps me to eat a substantial meal before I go to bed. It's hard for me to go to sleep hungry. Now, you know, obviously, Sam, man up, do it, you know, don't eat anything. But if I can make it easier on myself by eating a substantial meal towards the end of the day, so I can go to bed and get a full night's rest without waking up and, you know, coming down to the kitchen to scrap around for, you know, whatever the hell is around for me to snack on, well, then that's a pretty damn good scenario, you know? So sometimes you've got to do what is sort of conventionally understood as correct, right? Lower macros or lower calories, more cardio, right? Consistent training. Obviously, that's pretty basic across the board. But then you've also got to look at your own scenario and kind of adjust accordingly, you know? If for you, you can wait until 1 o'clock in the afternoon to eat your first meal, and then you can just have all your calories from 1 o'clock to 10 before you go to bed, and that makes it easier to stick to your macros, well then hell yeah, man, do that. Boom, you're good. Or if for whatever reason you just wake up fiending for food, you've got to eat something instantly, and you don't mind going to bed a little hungrier, well then accommodate that need and just, you know, eat a big breakfast like you like, and make sure you save enough food for later in the day so that you don't overeat and, you know, blow your calorie goals. So there's certainly answers for everyone, but there's also just individual changes and individual kind of, you know, accommodations that if you can learn, like if you can learn your body and your food habits, then it just gets easier to stick to your goals, you know? So I guess that's not really a tip. That's more so find your own tips kind of deal. So take with that what you will. But I'm going to stick to my macros for the day. Obviously, I got to stop at the bank, and then I will see you tomorrow for some back, for some wide ass freaking back. So I'll see you then.